Number one mistakes blockchain brands make is making it all about technology and only about the technology. Hi guys, I am Dennis Roelofsen and I'm founder of Yura, the digital agency for building brands in innovation and technology. And on today's Blockchain Beyond Hype, I will share with you my experience in strategy, branding and design for companies that use blockchain technology in their solutions. I hope you will enjoy. I think I was introduced to Bitcoin and blockchain and cryptocurrency rather late, somewhere in 2016. But I immediately felt, diving deeper into it, that it had this similar vibe, this similar hype and uprise that I felt back in 2001 when I started my first agency, and it was the uprise of the internet, obviously. And the way people spoke about it and the way people were excited about it was so similar that I needed to know more. And the more I learned, the more I wanted to learn. And also, obviously, I saw the market opportunity because the blockchain space is not super mature on a design and branding level. So yeah, I saw them going really well together, and that's why we started Yura. I think innovation, some people call it design thinking, and I like to use the term as well. That is all about searching for the unfamiliar. So it's not like finding something you have lost. You need to have a different framework, a different point of departure to find a solution. To build an innovative brand, I think you need to just break down those frameworks, start with a clean slate, be very open-minded, and with that approach in the DNA is already an innovative brand, I think. We use a branding model. It's called the 6 Brand Questions by Michael Johnson, and it starts with why. The question is, why are we here? So on all these questions we want to have a clear answer that is commonly shared. The first question, why are we here? It's a great question, important question. The second one is, what do we do and how do we do it? The third one is, who are we here for? Sometimes we change that question a little bit into, what do we optimize our product for? So you need to have optimization, otherwise you'll just be throwing money in thin air. Fourth question is, what do we value the most? Fifth question is, what is our brand personality? The sixth one is, what makes us different? So the answer to the questions should include how you would differentiate yourself from competition. Yeah. So if we answer those 6 questions very clearly, everybody's happy, short, that's a great start for a brand. Unfortunately, a lot of companies in the blockchain space, they approach product design as something that comes last. And we feel that good design, good product design, or any kind of design is not only about the aesthetics. It's not some secret sauce you put on top, but it's aesthetics and human centricity and functionality. So if you view it in that more holistic way, you should bring design earlier to the table. Number one mistakes blockchain brands make is making it all about technology and only about the technology, and not about people, not about values, because people in the end don't care as much as about technology as we think they will. Number 2 is expressing the brand in vague and very oftentimes very clever terms. So making ourselves look very clever. And we can all just bring up some examples, but from a human-centric point of view, that kind of pushes a lot of people away that don't yet understand the terminology. Number 3 is also about the users. It's about that human-centric approach and not showing people. I've seen a lot of branding projects that showed a galaxy and they showed nodes. So if you do that, then you at least show people in the forefront, or have pictures of a team, or have interviews or videos with people. Number 4 is not having great alignment with storytelling and UX. It's like telling the whole story in just one sentence, and that feels like reading a phone book, or it's not interesting. There's no hierarchy. I don't know what's important, and everything is just thrown over me. Number 5, I would say that it's making it all about the features. So I always say there's a hierarchy between value, advantages and features. So if you would have the feature, that's the lowest in rank. An advantage is already more tangible, more important. But if you can talk to me about what it does for me, my life, how you will solve my problems, how you will make my life better, that's a huge step up. And then you ask for 5. I want to give you a 6th one, and I've seen a lot of cases where people say, we are the first blah blah blah, and sometimes they are the 4th or the 6th or one of many. Sometimes they say we are the only, and that kind of storytelling, it doesn't do well with me as a user. The examples you mention are merely visual brand expressions, and as I said before, we feel that good design is not only the aesthetics, it's also a human-centric approach, human centricity and functionality. If you put them together, then design becomes a problem solver. So it could be anything. It could be your workflow. It could be the screens from your blockchain app, or your wallet, or whatever. Maybe that's how they feel, but it shouldn't be. I don't think that good design is the luxury or the indulgence that you mentioned. I think people buy what they understand. It's on the user side as well as on the decision maker side. I think good design can help you to make users understand what it is that you sell or promote, or any kind of transaction. But it also goes for the decision makers. So if the decision makers don't understand the discipline of design and branding very well, they won't buy into it until they have a bigger user base, or a bigger team, or a more professional or mature development. A lot of blockchain brands, they come from a source of technology, obviously, but sometimes also from a financial point of view, but hardly ever from a branding and design point of view. So I feel that that's the reason, not because it's luxury or... I don't think it's really that different, but I do feel that tech-savvy people in the blockchain space, they tend to vocate advantages and technology features more because they're so excited about it themselves than what we feel. is necessary from a user-centric point of view. Let's just say my mother goes to the ATM. She doesn't know anything about technology. She just wants to take what she feels is her money. If the technology changes, she still wants her money. So that's more of the value. And if you bring an innovation to the market and to the users, that's where you should focus on, not the technology itself. I feel that good design is a combination of simultaneously doing well on different disciplines, and there's that good design is embedded again into, for example, if you take, let's just take the iPhone. It's not just design, but it's the whole plethora of solutions that come together really well. So you want to know the ROI of design itself, you'd have to separate that from all the other things. And this is where they've had innovation embedded into their DNA. But we can probably work backwards. If there's bad design, there's a number of issues that do have the opportunity for quantitative analysis, data, or even qualitative feedback. And then if you solve those one by one by design, you can see how that can bring a result. So I think the question should be, can we afford to have bad design? Yes or no? I would say go Dropbox. You know, Dropbox started with, you can Google it, I think it was $5,000 or $6,000. They just had a one-page landing page that just a couple of forms to fill in, and that was their whole design. So in the end, it's simplify, 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 and don't focus on everything that's non-essential. It's a very simple method. It's just a filter that we use to check if we feel our brand expression is on point, and if it has the 6 building blocks that we feel should be represented in every strong brand expression. So the letter stands for clarity, relevance, attention, appeal, distinction, I forgot distinction, sorry, appeal, and then consistency. And that consistency is important because that's the thing that keeps the brand together, and appeal is the thing that has that surprise element to make it interesting. We have a couple, but the one that really stands out for me is Lisk, one of the companies that seems to have done that six brand questions very well. So their why is very strong. They focus on education and to grow the community of developers, and they give away their knowledge, they give away workshops, they give away office space, and they seem to just be focused on that, and therefore they grow. So that is by design, I think, a clever strategy. Let me first try to explain how I define brand. Many people think it's your logo and you stick it on a coffee mug and you have a brand. Well, technically that's true, but I feel that your brand is more of a gut feeling. It's something more intangible. So it's not what you say it is, it's what other people say it is. So it's a little harder to have successful branding, because how can you have influence on other people's gut feeling? This is forcing us to be very intentional about those actions. And this is what branding and design does. I think if I had to bring everything down to one answer, it's just be human. Show humans, but also come from a source of common sense and humanity. And I think this is super helpful for the blockchain space because it's easy overlooked, but it's also easy to do. I believe in tokenization, I believe token economies, and I hope that in the near future we will all have our own token. You will have your own token as a family or maybe personally. Companies will have their own token, and it will open up the possibility to all interact and trade with each other and going beyond institutions and banks. I feel that we have treated blockchain a little bit as a buzzword, a little bit too much, and I feel that it will integrate with everyone's lives, but definitely with other technologies. So it becomes more of everyday life and not this holy grail. So that when we use blockchain technology for when my mother goes to the ATM, nobody knows, nobody cares, but our lives will be better. That's all for today, guys. If you want to know more about blockchain, follow Blockchain Zoo's social media and subscribe to the YouTube channel. See you next time.